Welcome back. I'm Chelsea, founder and CEO of Dental Life Coach and the host of the Dental Brain Crops podcast. We're getting into something deep today, the meaning of experiences. And I'm going to get right to the point because there are literally hundreds of books on this topic, and I've studied a lot of them. And there's more research happening all of the time, and I'll continue sharing as I research. But I like to give you chunks of content that are designed to do two things. First, expose you to the idea or concept, and second, to encourage action. And sometimes the action you take is to think further on the topic. Some people tell me they go out and read books and articles and learn more, and we've got some on our website if you're interested. Other times, there's actual experimentation that you can do in your life. Now, when we talk about the meaning of our experiences, contrary to what it may sound like, I'm not actually referring to the thing or lack of the thing. And the thing could be a person, a situation, money, a job, health. Those are like paint colors on a palette. What really impacts us and has everything to do with how we experience life is the meaning of those experiences. Each step of the process of achievement or attempt has meaning. And we choose the meaning. Often we don't realize that we're choosing. It seems obvious or automatic, absolute and clear, but meaning is selected and it's as temporary as we decide it to be. I want to make a recommendation here that you determine the effectiveness and utility of the current meaning you're giving something. Identify the way that it feels. Anticipate what that feeling is likely to breed or breed more of. We assign meaning to our experiences and to other people's. Have you ever had someone follow up with you about something that happened to you that was off pitch from your experience? A few weeks ago, I was talking to a friend and we chatted casually for a bit, and it was upbeat and casual. And then she changed the conversation. She wanted to check in on how a situation landed for me. And when she brought the subject up, her entire demeanor changed. Her tone was deep and concerned and somewhat dramatic as she asked, "So how are you doing with that? I mean, how are you really doing?" And I was a bit caught off guard because the thing that she was following up on was never an earth-shattering thing for me, nor did I ever suggest that it was. And it almost felt like I was being baited to spill the beans on some juicy topic that for me was really pretty simple. And the specifics of the situation aren't really relevant to this conversation, but the principle is transferable. It illustrates how easy it is for someone, and that could be us, to unknowingly create a story about something and decide our story's true and then make that our reality. You see this kind of thing come up in families a lot, or close circle of friends where people know each other and they see each other, they witness each other's learning experiences and areas of opportunities. And sometimes when someone in the group misses the mark in a big way, they get put in a metaphorical box that's really hard to escape. A lot of times it's not that what they did is absolutely and under no circumstances unforgivable. It's that the people who know about it decide what it means. They create a story about it. Let me give you an example. I have a client who is in many ways very talented. He's a highly successful individual. He's well liked and well respected by others. And when we began working together, he was at a breaking point because there were all of these people who seemed to adore him at work and in casual social situations. And he had some closer family members who couldn't get over something from his past. They had a story. And while I haven't interviewed each of them individually to confirm the details of their perspective, their story probably sounds something like this. Because of this thing in his past that we didn't like, didn't approve of, or can't understand, it must mean that he is, as a whole, someone that we don't accept or don't fully accept. And let's be clear, when you or someone you know decides on a story like this, it follows that we start noticing all of the things still happening that prove our story true. We keep the slow burn going, which was what was happening with my client and his family. He was being reminded in subtle and overt ways that he was, in their opinion, someone that he did not believe he was, and it was difficult for him. So here's what we can't do. We can't make people think the way we want them to think about us or about anything else. There are some people that we may be able to influence more than others, but the decision to think about something or someone always remains individual, which brings me to what we can do. We can and would be served well to make an intentional effort to notice what we're thinking about ourselves, about our situations, and about other people, because we get to experience the stories we circulate. They're born in our minds, they grow in our minds, and they express themselves in our world in sync with our focus on them. If you haven't noticed this, try it out. Think of someone or something that irritates you that you have regular exposure to. Notice, if you think about the person or thing you dislike, you can become mentally, emotionally, and even physically impacted right now, even though you're not currently interacting with the person or situation. Our stories are incredibly powerful. Our language is incredibly powerful because with them, we give meaning and birth emotion to all of our experiences. So it isn't enough to just watch what you think. It's got to be more intentional than that. Whether you want to communicate better with your spouse or build $100 million business, the meaning you give each experience and the words you use in the stories you create will have everything to do with the process that you engage in. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Health, happiness, and success are within your reach, and it's my joy to share what's worked for me and others. If there's something you'd like to know more about, leave it in the comments and we'll get it in the queue.